from Wilson. McCarthy bringing behind for Arm. Motale, back to Zoli. McCarthy. Oh no! Losing it. Arm's there. Pops out for the toy. Here comes Cheslin Colby. Bounces towards the fence. Bounce one. Still going. Cheslin Colby. South Africa. The World Cup is theirs.
Right, when you talk about a history-making occasion, it's exactly that. It was about the Rugby World Cup. And of course, South Africa, the world champions, and we congratulate them because we were speculating on the show last week. Kennedy Timber was here, suggesting that the Springboks will come back victorious. They'll come back hoisting that Webb Ellis trophy. And of course, being a Thursday, the Springboks have been all over the place, especially around Tshwane, within the Gauteng area, popping down to Soweto with that trophy. It's a ticker tape parade. If you haven't been a part of it, my goodness, you are missing out on something major. But wait until it comes to the city. Wherever you are around the country, they've promised me that they'll make it a plan. Make sure that they come to your area as well. Well, good evening to Thursday Night Live. I haven't even greeted you. Of course not. We're just happy, we're excited. Kennedy might not be here. He might join us next week. But his prediction for Kaizer Chiefs, spot on. His prediction as well for the Springboks, you couldn't argue with that in any way whatsoever. And I am so delighted that today our guest, my goodness, I don't think he knows anything about rugby, but he knows everything about anything. Magents Motale, good to see you.
Robbie, thanks for having me, my man.
Did that make any sense? Lukanyo Arm, the look-away pass to Magazolo Mapimpi, scoring a try. Did that make any sense to you? Did you watch the rugby?
Yeah, I thought, that's team spirit, you know?
Yeah.
He's a team player. I thought he was going to go by himself. Yeah, but he made that brilliant pass. And then, some referee wasn't sure whether it was a goal or what. And
Try.
A try, yeah. Then we have to go back for somebody to verify, you understand?
Yeah.
And then eventually they say goal. I said, we got it.
Try.
Yeah, we got to try.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I try.
So we're going to get it right. Like I said,
Yeah.
I promised my gents. That's why I got him here on the segment. He's going to be with me throughout the entire show. Whether we're talking about rugby or cricket or football, he's going to be here. And he's promised me he's willing to learn. He'll get rid of this goal story. He'll say try. You'll try, ne?
Yeah, that was a good try.
It was a good try, man.
Actually, the best try. Because you can even, check the pass, eh? It was brilliant.
All right, so straight after the World Cup final, it was off now to the award ceremony. As you know, that Cheslin Colby was there as one of the nominated players. Peter Steph du Toit also being there. Who was going to win it? Yeah, Coach of the Year is also there in the running. Will the Springboks get the award as well? But hey, if you're number one in the world, if you're Rugby World Cup champions, surely you need to clean it all up. Let's catch up on what happened.
The winner of the World Rugby Coach of the Year 2019 is Rassie Erasmus.
But me coaching South Africa, we've got some challenges there, and the way our management, our assistant coaches and our players stood up this specific year with the challenges, I'm really, really proud to be South African.
South Africa, you deserve it, so congratulations.
We've been together this year for 20 weeks and there hasn't been any bad moments. We've really enjoyed each other's companies and it was all worth it at the end of the day. We knew what we were fighting for.
Well, as the host was saying that, you could hear a pin drop. That's just how much attention everybody in that crowd, in that audience, was really listening to Siya Kolisi, the captain of the Springboks. Another history-making moment as well, for many, many various reasons as well. Hitting the 50 mark, 20 caps as well as the captain of the Springboks, and welcoming him in South Africa, all of those thousands of people that went to the R Tambo International Airport. Unbelievable scenes. I don't know where you were, if you went there. Were you there? You didn't go to
I
Tambo?
couldn't make it. The whole train was very full, my friend.
Was full.
Yeah, I couldn't make it. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But
Okay, we know that it's expired.
Spiritually, I was there.
You were there?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I trust you.
Yeah.
I trust you that you were there. Okay, let's catch up with people that were actually there welcoming the Boks back on home soil.
The chat was again about South Africa. It wasn't about the actual game plan. It was about the people back home watching watching TV, the messages. So half of it hard work, the other half was you guys.
All right, very proud moment indeed. You could see the sports minister there, Minister Natim Tato, also in attendance, Sia Kolisi there, addressing the media. I mean, all sorts. Does it remind you of your time where, from a football perspective, Africa Cup of Nations, 1996, I mean, a different level. This is world, not continental.
Yeah, but even the welcoming was the same at the airport, fully packed, black and white. Even the rugby players, they came to welcome us.
That was 95 Champions
95
League.
Champions League, yeah. And we also supported them during their World Cup endeavor. So, yeah, it was a nice unity. Remember, we were like one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, President Mandela, everybody did like with the, yeah, it was electrifying. So it reminds me those days, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you promising everybody that you're going to learn a little bit more about rugby now so that you prepare yourself for 4 years' time when we watch it together?
Yeah, the scrum, you know, the try, now I know the try.
Try.
Yeah, the penalty,
drop goal.
the drop shot, the drop kick. Yeah, now I'm learning slowly.
The line out.
The line out, you know, the wing. So I've learned. Yeah,
Nice.
at least I know a bit now.
No, nice. I like that. So you can always help, Magents, if you got new terminology that you're going to make him learn about rugby. He promised me and he promised everybody that he will learn. So who knows? He might be sitting on some international feed at the next Rugby World Cup and he could be an analyst from lessons that were learned today. You could be analyzed.
Nothing's impossible in South Africa, my man.
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible.
We go and host Kasi Rugby together.
Yeah, I'm going to learn the offside. You know, I was touched by the offside and because
Forward pass. You're
forward
not allowed
pass
to
is not.
pass
Yeah, I said no, but this is delaying the game. But later on when I start understand it fully, then I start enjoying the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. He's a football legend as well. We're trying to school him in terms of different sporting codes. And right here on Thursday Night Live, he is going to see an improvement as far as the terminology and as far as everything is concerned about the game. Now, the Beast Mtawarira. You've heard of the Beast, right?
Yeah, I like it.
It's like Mark Fish at the stadium, but this is Beast.
The Beast.
Yeah, so the
strong.
Beast. Hey,
Very strong.
tough man. 117 odd caps that he's had for the Springboks.
That's consistent.
How many caps did you have?
You won't believe. I got 7 caps, a gold medal.
7 caps. He's had 117 test caps for South Africa. He's managed 2 test tries, which is a massive achievement given his position. 159 Vodacom Super Rugby caps as well. Massive, massive achievement. And when it comes to silverware, he's got the Rugby World Cup under his belt, the Kaizer Rugby Championship win as well that we had a couple of months ago, the Tri-Nations win, British and Irish Lions Tour win, and also 3 Currie Cup wins. But they're going to miss him now because the big announcement was made yesterday that he will be retiring from international rugby. And then today, boom, he gives us another one. He's retiring from the Sharks. But what the media is speculating, because he hasn't given us full details, is that there's a possibility of him going to play overseas. And that's not a bad thing, though, because, the beast deserves it. He's been one of those consistent soldiers, one of those trusted soldiers when it comes to rugby in SA. And if he does go overseas, hey, earning in pounds, my friend, hey? You hope that the rand-pound exchange remains the same. Then he'll be earning. You never got to play overseas, right?
Yeah. I was too old for overseas back then. My knees were already no oil, you understand? But I wish to go and play overseas, but I couldn't. Yeah, but for the beast, I think, look, he might be going overseas. Yeah, but if our rugby people were clever, they could have been start negotiating with these players. Because surely, not him only, majority is going to leave us. And we're going to struggle now.
But it's about who carries the money in the end of the day.
That's why I said maybe they can start offering them better packages so that they can remain home.
All right. And obviously, not being a major rugby person like yourself, and we're putting that out front, he's not a fundi in rugby, but he's fundering the rugby. There's a big difference there. So now that you're fundering the rugby, what is the one thing that caught your attention about this Rugby World Cup? Yeah, I know everybody's been talking about Usia, who's been a wonderful captain, came back with the Webb Ellis Trophy, carried it at the OR Tambo International Airport, carried it as well in Japan in the final day with the President Cyril Ramaphosa, who was there, the entire squad, even the injured players were able to go back and be part of the medal ceremony. What for you stood out? What would be your memory about Rugby World Cup 2019?
My memory is teamwork. Yes, teamwork. I watched New Zealand, the first match against New Zealand. Then after that loss, I could see the anger on each and every player and the way they were consoling each other. And that's why I believe that there's no way we're going to lose the next match. Because they carried each other, like one family, one thing, And then during the injury of the captain also, everybody was so worried, about this injury for the next coming match. And that's why I picked up, I said, this team is going far.
Nice one. Now, talking about injury, unfortunately, he's not going to be part of the ticker tape parade at all. Andre Pollard finds himself in hospital. We saw at the end of that game, he had almost like a black eye where he got a knock, but it's so severe that it is a broken cheekbone. So he is in hospital. I don't know how long it's going to be, but he's very, very sad. He's very down, given all the points that he scored, 22 on the day, 62 overall in the tournament. So that's the kind of caliber of the man that we were able to have within the Springboks. So speedy recovery there, soldier. You're a champ now, so we need you out of that hospital and back enjoying with the rest of your teammates as they parade the Webb Ellis Trophy right across the length and the breadth of South Africa. Not every province, but hey, the guys also need to go and see their families, man. They've been together for way too long. They're tired of each other. They need to go and rest, see their families, see their dogs and their pets, whatever it is, around the home. Now, there's this chap that's here, just behind me. And we did ask you to give him a name last week. We've had so many creative people coming through, giving us names. We had the name that starts with an A and ends with an N last week, but we said we'll hold it off until we get a very creative person. You're a creative person. You're a fun person. What name would you give this gentleman here? Oh, I don't know. Is it a gentleman? Yeah.
Mtawarira.
Mtawarira.
Yeah.
Nothing shorter?
I don't know one word. In English, one word, but...
Should we give you a bit of time?
Yeah, give me a bit of time.
That's not a bad start. Mtawarira. It's just that, on the hashtag, people will be swearing at each other on Twitter. So, it's a nice beginning. So that's option one, Mtawarira. Yeah? The world is equal.
It's equal, yeah.
The nation's equal.
Equal. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I like your thinking. That's Magents, Motale, my guest as well, right here on Thursday Night Live. We're going to take a break. After the break, so much happening. Champions League week, Tuesday as well as Wednesday. Coaches being fired in the Bundesliga. Why? No results forthcoming. That come from behind game where Ajax played against Chelsea. My goodness. Champions League will leave you dizzy. But of course, you got another Soweto derby. Last week, the man that sat here got the magic again. I think you were saying at home that the magic couch, giving Manyama, man of the match in the Telkom knockout, giving as well Brilliant Kuzwai a role this weekend. The sponsors are making him an ambassador of some sort. I don't know what's going to happen to Magents. He might just go for elections and be the president. All right, you're back with the Thursday Night Live. Edward Magents Motale, football grade, football leader, right here with me in studio. And we're talking about legend. Huh?
Yeah.
Legend.
Legend.
Are they calling you a legend still?
Yeah. They call me legend. Some they call me a master.
Do you deserve it, though? Were you that great?
Yeah, look, I think, I did my best in our football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I made people enjoy coming to the game. I had followers from all 18 teams then.
Who were just following you, not the team?
Yeah, not the team. Following me. Every time I receive call from Chiefs, Pirate, all over, I said, are you playing? Are you on the starting lineup? I said, yes. I said, we coming.
Hey, man.
As far as Durban, Mtawarira.
Were you ever on the bench, though? Because you always seem to start a game.
No, I was never on the bench. That is why when Bondarengo came in, and then he put me on the bench because he claimed that the football I was playing was a Mickey Mouse. And then I asked him on way into the ground, I said, Coach, how do we sit on the bench? Because I was never on the bench.
Yes.
So do we sit alphabetically and how do we talk on the bench? Because I've never been on the bench. Can you help me? You know.
So what did he say?
And, he laughed. He just smiled, you know. And the nice thing, he claimed that he didn't know English, but he could. Every time when we make a joke in English, he'll smile.
Ah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So you guys taught him the wrong English. That's the problem. Bondarengo, well known back in the days for attack. That was the strategy. He didn't say much to the guys, just attack, which is what we saw in the UEFA Champions League as well these past couple of days. Let's go back to that action, though, because I don't know which of the days, I'm confused, which of the 2 days were my favorite days, starting off on Tuesday as well. And let's have a quick look, if you missed it. That Liverpool gang game. I think Liverpool are starting to find it difficult again, my gents, because they got a very important game coming up over the weekend. They got to play against Manchester City. So it's the champions versus the champions that weren't, but could have been had Man City not been there last season. But great recovery, played well. Genk got opportunities in that game, but it wasn't to be. Now, 3-2 in that game with Inter at the bottom there. Borussia Dortmund in the Bundesliga, coming up with an A game, because this coming weekend, they also have a very important game. You talk about a Klassiker that's here with Chiefs and Pirates. They've got to play their own Klassiker as well over this weekend against Bayern Munich. So, looking forward to that. Now, the one thing about Champions League that you can always admire is the amount of goals, because you're getting to that match day where it's going to be important. And obviously for Man City, we'll see that in a second. If they had won that game, they would have been able to go through to the next round, but still with matches to play. But it wasn't the case. What happens in domestic league, Magents, is not the same when it comes to continental football. You would know what was happening in '95 with Pirates domestically didn't translate to what was happening, but you guys came back champions in the end. So that element of surprise is always important.
Yeah, and most especially if you're going to undermine the opponents, because they played the Bundus or they're somewhere lying at the bottom of the log, you know, that's where you'll have a problem. You'll find yourself on the back foot, you understand? So That is why when we went to trade in Africa, because we didn't even know anybody.
Where's Africa? Aren't you in Africa now?
The other side.
The other side,
Yeah,
the other
not,
Africa.
not south.
Oh,
not
the
the
other
south.
Africa.
The other Africa.
Okay.
So we didn't undermine anyone.
Right.
We just took everything as a cup final. Whether it's ASEC Mimosa, whether it's Ghana, Nigeria, we just went for a kill.
Now you talk about a foot. He had a foot injury. And when you talk about a foot injury, you talk about a 19-year-old. Now that is what Frank Lampard has been trying to do with this Chelsea team, is bring youngsters in. People might say they've been struggling at the start of the season, but there is a sense of direction. There's a sense that he knows what he's doing. He knows where the team is going. Reece James being one of those players, and he's the 19-year-old, had to watch from the grandstand when the season started. But right now, this young man is making inroads. Let's hear from the coach.
Reece is a fantastic young player, and he gives what you saw, and I think he'll get much better because he's 19. That's just normal. But I felt we needed to change to get a bit more for us on the right-hand side, change it, get Aspie on the left-hand side, and I think Reece can deliver crosses and with great quality.
Why is it that we're not seeing that level of belief in domestic football? Because when you see a Raheem Sterling also started at a very young age. Now he's benefiting from an early start. At Liverpool, he might not have been as great as he is now under Pep Guardiola at Man City. But what is it about putting youngsters in the deep end that makes them to become so great? But we don't see that in a domestic game. Why are coaches here in South Africa so reluctant, Magents, to play the youngsters?
Yeah, the problem is, I'll take you a little bit back. You know, during our time, our days, we have young players like the late Gifle Remy.
Yes.
He came into the setup early at 16, 17. The late Thomas Marichache, he joined us at Cosmos at 16. Because these coaches had a belief in the youngsters. And then now, the whole thing changes. And then we start hiring outside coaches, whereby they were results driven, you know, because they're away from their families, they have to be here, collect as much result. The more you collect, the more you have another day. And then that's where they got rid of youngsters, because now everything was results. And then the mandate was, I want that trophy.
But the under-23s back in the time when you were playing were doing so well. And those you could call youngsters, you know.
Yeah.
There's the David Kanameyers of this world, Kukame,
The Benni McCarthy.
Daniel Matsao, Benni McCarthy, Matthew Booth. You know, all of those guys produced football. Yeah, I mean, it's not typically youngster because it's under-23. But I'm just talking about teenage players. There's a reluctance to play them.
Yeah, but you know why? What's happening now?
Yeah.
You get the under-17s, they go and play Olympics. When they come back, big teams start signing them and do what? And put them on the bench. And that boy get trusted, and then the next team vanish into thin air. We don't even know where the boy vanished to. You understand?
Why don't you coach?
So, because we don't have a
Why
structure.
don't you coach?
I'm coaching youngsters.
But at what level? Because we don't see you, but he'll come back. He'll answer
Yeah,
that
you
question.
always
Yeah.
see.
Do you like VAR? What have you made? Would you want VAR to come to SA?
Look, before VAR, maybe if we get more cameras, like the touchline camera or the goal line camera. Yeah, if we can get those cameras before the VAR, I'll be happy. But if it have to, I like it because it gives us the other decision.
Yeah.
You understand? Because I'll tell you, our referees, not all obviously, but majority of them, they're not up to scratch.
Oh, they're struggling, yeah?
They're struggling because I won't say they're cheating.
Why won't you say that? What if they are?
They just don't know how to ref. They don't know the rules.
Then why are they holding whistles?
Because one referee, he'll do this mistake at Chiefs, very same mistake at Sundowns, very same mistake at Polokwane. So that's not cheating. He
But
doesn't
if
know
you're
how
a player like Lodge was stamping on a Kama billiard.
Yeah.
Ah, come on. You don't even have to have a whistle. You can tell at home while you're having your ice-cold water that guy needs a red card. But let's find out, though, what the thoughts are as far as Vieira is concerned. Ten Hag, who's the Ajax Amsterdam coach, I don't think he really likes it. I've seen Gary Lineker as well posting on Twitter this week about his dislike for VAR. And I've seen so many people change their minds. It was supposed to be that savior when it comes to football. Yeah, VAR is coming after the World Cup. VAR is coming. It's there. But listen to this.
I think when you play in 2 games Chelsea and some decisions were not on our side, and I think we could have had 4 points and we have only 1, and I think we deserve certainly 4 points, and but yeah, some decisions out of our power were against us, and we have only 1 point. And I think we played magnificent tonight. We said before we have to play better on the ball, and we did. But still, I'm a positive man. I'm looking forward. We are still in top of this pool, and we have it still in our hands.
It's an unbelievable game. If you get a chance to re-watch that game, it had every element that is there. 9-man, VAR decisions, come from behind kind of result. It was, I mean, these youngsters who pushed so hard last season as far as UEFA Champions League is concerned, a lot of people would have not given them a chance, saying it's a new season. A lot of the top players have left, but it's about the continuity because Ajax Amsterdam is about building for the future, is about youngsters. So it's not so much reliance on ready-made players or buying players. That's not their business, and that's how they keep it. Well, if that's what Ten Hag's saying about VAR, let's find out, though, from the coach who's sitting on the other side of the dugout. Here's Frank Lampard.
I mean, today was just a mad one. I don't think there's too many I can even compare it to in my day. I know we had 4-4s with Liverpool and some crazy games, but the red cards and the VAR is obviously a new animal, and we're all getting used to that. And I'm not the only manager that's talking about it every week. Every manager is at the moment. I'm delighted. Take VAR out of it and the red cards, etc. What I have to think about is us, and the spirit that we showed and the character was something that I loved, and I think our fans loved, and we need to tighten up for sure. But with that spirit, we can go places.
All right, and moving on to the Wednesday results as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. I mean, the standout one is that 4-4. I did talk about it. And Valencia, every time playing at home, you can't really take anything away from them. So they went according to home ground advantage. Olympique Lyonnais as well, pretty much the same 3-1. I mean, I talked about goals. Again, Magents, that is testimony to that, but 8-goal thriller. It was Ajax away from home on any given day at Stamford Bridge. That tells you something about the caliber and the quality of those players, but also the grit and determination. And it could have been more as well from a Chelsea perspective, given some of the results that, the goals that could have happened in their way. But there is a VAR system that is there. So I want to compare, and I keep comparing with the local game again, my chance is that goal line technology is probably the easiest that you can ever look for.
Yeah.
I think Pirates would have felt a need for goal line technology again as early as Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because everybody was not sure if the ball had bounced the other side.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it didn't look like it had bounced over the line. But what should we, I know you talk about cameras, but what should we invest in? We still don't have it yet.
Yeah. Look, VAR, I mean, I think there's 4 people somewhere in the TV room watching and coming with a solid decision. I think it's also going to work because the other things, like the goal you just spoke about, you won't see that with a naked eye. Plus the speed, there's so many things. The speed, there's quick bounce and all that. And the distance, probably, the referee's still trying to catch up. And then there's a leash. So VAR will work. Goal line technology will work. But here we're taking things for granted. And the people, the very same goal, it might cost you your job as a coach. You might be sacked.
Yeah.
If you coach Chippa United and they score that goal, Chippa won't even want to analyze it. He'll just chuck you out. Same after the match.
Well, it's been twice for Domen Mapeza now over the weekend, and of course yesterday things really didn't work out for Chippa United. Another defeat under their belt. Maybe they need to look into the goalkeeping department. We saw it over the weekend and we saw it again yesterday. Question mark, but it's a very, very talented and highly gifted goalkeeper. Can't take it away from him. But you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at we were talking about Liverpool early on. I'm looking at a Liverpool team that went over the weekend. Things were not going well against Aston Villa. They got an equalizer. These are dying moments of the game. And Sadio Mane is provider. Sadio Mane becomes the goal scorer in the end. But it's all of these top games back to back within a short period of time. It must be taking its toll. Let's find out from coach of Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp.
No, we don't know exactly yet. We have an idea how we do it, but it's too early to speak about that. We had to make a decision now. We made a decision because all the other alternatives were more problems than solutions, and that didn't work out. So we said, okay, that's how we can do it as good as it's possible for us. And but all the rest, we have now a bit of time to think about that. We have now more important things to do, concentrating where we had today, playing a game, then concentrating on the next game. But in these next couple of weeks, we will make a decision how it will exactly look. But at the end, they will play a Liverpool team 100%.
All right, 100% Liverpool team that will come through. All right, let's find out from another coach that's been under pressure as well, Zinedine Zidane, head coach at Real Madrid.
Bueno, 18 años lo tiene, sí. y bueno, no, nos alegramos por él, porque al final, cuando él tiene la oportunidad de jugar, lo hace bien, y esta noche lo ha hecho otra vez. Bien en todos los sentidos. Ofensivamente sabemos su calidad, pero también defensivamente trabaja y hace muchas cosas. Pero luego hay que estar de todas formas tranquilo y bueno, y no meter presión. Podemos.
All right, youngsters coming through as far as international football is concerned, and all round, I think the clubs do benefit in the end. Also the internationals, and when it comes to national teams, also benefiting from the usage of these youngsters overall. But what about Man City? Like I said, again, a lot of consultation there. Raheem Sterling back again, top form. I don't think he's ever lost form. The coach has been praising his recovery because of all of these games back to back, but still producing top flight football. Let's hear from Pep Guardiola.
It's a muscular problem. It was not big, but to avoid more risk, he didn't feel comfortable the last minutes of the first half, and that's why we decided to make a substitution. But honestly, right now, I don't know. So we're going to try it with him, but we want to lose him. We are not going to take a risk, you know. So if Ederson can play, he's going to play. We're not going to play Claudio. So which alternative that we have?
It's always difficult when an infield player has to become a goalkeeper, but then if that's all you have, then what are you going to be able to do? That's what a sending off is all about. It had to be verified again via VAR. But as far as the logs are concerned, it's all looking very exciting as far as UEFA Champions League is concerned. Group A there, we saw PSG playing. So 12 points that they do have after match day 4. So all of them, including Real Madrid, maybe those are the potential ones. We see our very own Club Brugge man. He lies in, third place, 2 points. It was promising when they started, when they were there at the Santiago Bernabeu, but yeah, I think experience has kind of caught up with them. Percy Tau's team. All right, so looking at Group C, Man City, we talked about their prospect. If they had gotten away with the maximum points, they would have been celebrating going through after just 4 match days. So Shakhtar Donetsk also on 5 points. So that makes it very tight, though, with Dinamo Zagreb and Atalanta, who always produce great football. But just 1 point they have after the 4 match days. Juve top in the table there with 10 points, 7 for Atletico, who are always there and thereabout. So the big fight, potentially, is to see who gets the 3rd spot, which is always very, very crucial as far as Europa football is concerned. All right, Liverpool, Group E, up against Napoli. That's a tight 1 point difference there. And also Salzburg with just 4 points. Genk, we could safely write them off as far as just the main 2 spots are concerned. But Group F as well, providing a Barcelona not really firing on all cylinders. The fans certainly not happy at the moment. Borussia Dortmund also just a points difference. So all getting very, very tight there. It's an exciting time and an exciting period as far as UEFA Champions League is concerned. Maybe this is one that not too many would have seen, with Leipzig taking lead in Group G, also with 9 points. Could be anyone. Zenit is not out of it if they do play well in their next match day. But Olympic Lyon, as we said, 7 points there. But look at this. Group H, Ajax, Chelsea, Valencia, all of them sitting on 7 points. So it's just Lille who are missing out on the fun and games there. So that should make for an interesting run in towards the end. All right, so that's how things are shaping up now. I think we kind of ready. That's why he came dressed straight from gym here. I think I had to remind him that he's actually not playing in the Soweto derby. But he said, you know what, I've been training as if I'm playing. We'll focus on what's happened in the build-up towards Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, FNB Stadium this weekend.
The world is watching. Welcome to Der Klassiker. Pure passion.
Utterly amazing.
The biggest stars.
Coutinho. Sancho. Gnabry. Rice.
Der Klassiker, a match like no other. FC Bayern München versus Borussia Dortmund.
All right, Marawa TV, as you know, having all the rights when it comes to Bundesliga to showcase on this side of the equator all of the exclusive, and we'll get to that in just a second. Now, if there is one thing that has really gotten a lot of people going is about Bayern Munich. What's going to happen now? Niko Kovac is gone. Was he just a scapegoat from a club that is underperforming? Hey, we're not too sure what is going on here, but a couple of coaches, I believe, have been given a call. The very same man, Erik ten Hag, that you saw, the Ajax Amsterdam head coach, apparently got a call as well with the potential of going across to Bayern Munich to go and coach over there. People have been throwing in the name of Jose Mourinho as well as a potential coach to go across there. But what about the man who made Arsenal, Arsene Wenger?
Coaching is what was my whole life until now, and everybody who has coached will tell you the same. You know, you miss the intensity. There are some things you miss big and some things you don't miss. And so I enjoyed as well things I don't miss too much. But on the other hand, football game, winning football game, preparing a team for the game, and develop players and get satisfaction, share emotions is something that you miss. And so of course, yes, I did that. I was responsible at 33 years of age, and I coached until 69 without interruption at top level. So, but it's 36 years without stopping, you know. So on the other hand, even if I miss it, get a little bit out of that pressure for a year was not too bad for me.
All right. I mean, you're always trying to find a funnier side of things. Just given the fact that he's been out of a job for so long and the potential that he has, everything that he's been able to do, I don't know if you're a big fan of Jose Mourinho. I mean, he's one of the contenders for this. Would you give him that job?
Yeah, look, for now, I doubt, because you look at the previous two clubs he coached, he wasn't doing well, especially the last one, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't doing well. Nothing was clicking. So, yeah, maybe he need a little bit of a rest. And then,
he's been resting.
Yeah.
Well, how much is going to fall asleep?
It's just
now?
12 months, man.
But for a coach, you need to be there. You need to be.
Rest a bit and get his eggs together, you know.
But a lot of people have criticized him, though, in saying that he's not been able to catch up with modern trends of football, that he's still stuck in the way that he would have coached Porto to win a UEFA Champions League or Inter Milan, or to a certain extent, he would have been able to coach Manchester United, like you say, with very little success. Do you think that he's not caught up like a Jurgen Klopp, who you can see how he coaches, and also including a Pep Guardiola?
No, I think he's catch up with the modern coach.
Yeah.
But the problem, I think, he's taking things personal. Because every time is this complaint in that fight, in fights, he's either fighting with his players, or he's got a anger or whatever, I don't know. But if he can control that part, I think he can become a best coach.
All right, we talked earlier on about the big Klassiker that's going to be happening over the weekend. Now, when Bayern Munich do get to play against a Borussia Dortmund, my oh my, you know, when you look at it from the fans' perspective, when you look at it from an attendance perspective, when you look at it from two teams who are expected to do well each and every season in the Bundesliga. But hey, let's catch up with what potentially could be fireworks.
The Bundesliga. Your life, your home, your joy. These are your highlights, your moments. They are your stars, your heroes, superheroes with super skills. This is your football. Football as it's meant to be.
All right, without going into much detail, I don't know, Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, we've seen how a Cape Town city responds to a coach who's no more.
Yeah.
They score 5 goals. Now, Kovac has left Bayern. Do you think it'll be the same response? What is it about you players? When you don't want a coach, you play this way, and then somebody else is waiting in the wings to come in. And then all of a sudden, you guys play out of your skins. What is the problem?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very difficult game. I think Bayern Munich, they're going to pull it up because now they know they are biological leaders no more.
Yes.
So now everybody wants to double the effort to impress that with or without him, I'm here.
You call him the biological leader?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, because he's like a father figure to them. Now it's left.
But they have lots of fathers then because they fire coaches so many times.
They're only left with the assistant. And
so he's the uncle.
Yeah,
figure.
the uncle might. But the uncle also, he might change things around on that game, you know.
Yeah.
He might change things around.
Because he might be the head coach, though.
Yeah, because he's also he won the position.
Yeah.
So he might change things around and put some more motivation to the players so that if he wins this one convincingly, he might get the position.
Nice one. Nice one. All right. I mean, go on social media. We always welcome any of your thoughts. And again, last week, being the first show of Thursday Night Live, you guys went mental. You went crazy with all of the comments that are there. Keep them coming through. Like I said, it's an important weekend that is coming up on so many different fronts. Back to the Absa Premiership grind. Knockout Cup competition is on hold for a little bit longer. And then when you look at the international scene, it's also going to be ablaze. Some of the games that we've highlighted showed you the fixtures thereof. You also got the under-23s who are starting a tournament as well coming up. That's going to be on Friday, tomorrow. They need to start playing these under-23s. They can't keep saying that they're short of players and then Marawa gets called up at the last minute to make up the numbers. Things have got to be slightly better just in terms of how they identify the players, how they get the players. We can't have these things happening in 2019.
Yeah, because it demoralizes when on the day one, coach already is complaining. Some other teams, they don't want to give me players. There's injuries. You just take whatever's around and go and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as a player sitting there and my coach already is complaining, it's also giving me doubts.
Yes,
Does my coach have confidence for this tournament? You know,
I get better.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't. I think things have to change there, but we wish them everything of the best. They still are, and we'll always see them as a potential rising stars, future Bafana superstars, if that continuity factor were to be brought back into SA football. All right, let's change gears slightly. I'll get a prediction as well from Magents. Motale, what is your prediction? If you're a Man City supporter, you know, you must be happy with how things are going, although the points deficit doesn't quite look that good. When you saw, as I said, over the weekend, when you come from behind in a game that you were supposed to either have lost or at the least drawn, but Lady Luck is upon you. You get that last-minute goal. It's a slight touch of the header there from Sadio Mane. But what's Pep Guardiola's? What is his thoughts ahead of this very, 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 one more very, very crucial game?
Yeah, my son and my daughter all the times when Liverpool win in the last minutes ask me, oh, how lucky they are. And I said at the time, it's not lucky. So what Liverpool has done the last season and this season many times because they have this incredible quality and this incredible talent to fight until the end. That's why I said to my players, and not just my son and my daughter, so that is not lucky. It happened once or twice in the life, so okay, yes, but happened maybe 10 or 12, 13.
All right, thanks so much, Pep Guardiola. Lots of your tweets that are coming through. Spiwa Mazibogo saying on Twitter that, well, to panzi kwa qobanyawo. Hey, was what qobanyawo. Stamping of the foot. Which foot? I don't know, but you'll tell me now. I'm supporting you, Budrob. Marawa TV, hashtag Windoda Madluputi. Thank you so much indeed. Keep those tweets coming through, and we'll certainly try and see how many we can come through. Daz as well on Twitter says, a game changer. Massive respect to you and your team. What an amazing show. Well, what an amazing viewer you are. Thank you very much. Do name Mr. No Name right now. Home Affairs, we can't sign him up without a name. So please help us. He's sitting there, no name. Magents is telling us long names here. We can't. Hey, it's going to fill up the whole ID.
Yeah.
Have you decided yet? Not yet.
I'm not good in naming, eh?
Oh, you like being named?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you're selfish,
yeah. I'm not good in naming.
Okay, we'll still give you some time. Liverpool, Manchester City.
Yeah.
Score, prediction.
It's not going to be much. 1-2 Liverpool. 1-0.
You're very confident. It pushes me to ask you who's going to score that goal.
Look, there's so many who can score, but I know Liverpool is going to edge.
Liverpool?
Liverpool.
Okay. Yeah. All right. He doesn't want to tell me who's going to score, but he says Liverpool will win it. All right, Liverpool fans, he usually is right, though. I hate to say it. He usually is right. But anyway, let's give him his credit. That is Magents Motale. All right, coming back after the break. Don't go anywhere. Still lots to talk about. Still lots to see. Still press conferences, individual players to chat to. Our cameras have been all over the place.
No, its pressure is actually more now to try be consistent and try keep winning ways. And now we have to take more to look at more detail in things that we do and be more careful as well.
Yeah, no, I think we have recovered. You know, it's a different match. It's a league match this time around. But you are right. It was disappointing to not get anything out of the match, you know, knowing very well that we played so well, even when we went one man down, but we pushed them, we gave it our all, and at the end of the day we were knocked out of penalties, which is a huge disappointment.
All right, lots of fun ahead of a very, very big weekend, but a lot of people have been still talking about Benni McCarthy, the fact that he's no longer part of Cape Town City. It was family in the end. So we decided with our Cape Town correspondent, Gershon Kutsia, to send him on a quick assignment to get one of the successful coaches to ever coach here in South Africa, that is Sergio Dos Santos, for his input, his insight on the sacking of Benni McCarthy. What's happening there, Gershon?
Well, Rob, as you said, Benni McCarthy being fired as Cape Town City head coach. One of the biggest stories besides the Springboks lifting the Webb Ellis Trophy after they win against England. But it is a talking point in South Africa, and many want to know, was it the right decision? Joining us on Marawa TV is Sergio Dos Santos. They call him the Dos. Sergio, was it the right decision for Benni McCarthy being fired, and also in the manner that he was fired?
Yeah, look, it's very difficult to tell because we don't know the workings of what happened on that specific night. But what I can say is that it's amazing that whenever a coach is appointed, it's fanfare, it's press release, press conference and so forth and so on. You would expect that in a situation like this, especially with a coach who has got a very big reputation as a soccer personality in South Africa, that maybe it would have been beneficial to the club to have called for a press conference to make the announcement, because Benni, to a certain extent, is not just a soccer personality, he's a bit bigger than that, very well loved in South Africa and especially in Cape Town, and certainly his appointment as a Cape Town City coach certainly drew a very big following from the community of soccer lovers in Cape Town. So I would have thought that Cape Town City would have thought a little bit more about how they were going to make this announcement. And knowing John Committees as I do, as an ex-player and now the owner of Cape Town City, I was a little bit surprised at the way that the announcement was made.
Now, there's no doubt also that a big talking point was Robin Johannes not returning to Cape Town City. And then Roland Pushko, also another player instrumental in that spine of the team, also got injured and not available.
Yeah, two very important players, Gershon, as you know. There are two vital players. And I'll just do a quick comparison. Let's take company of Manchester City. The captain, the leader, the big centre-back, the big man. He's gone. And suddenly Man City is struggling at the back. One player. They are struggling at the back and it could cost him the championship because of it. And this is the same situation here. Robin Johannes surprised a lot of football people at the way that he took that responsibility at Cape Town City, including the captaincy, and led by example by knitting the team together and doing a fantastic job. And in front of him you had Pushka, similar type of personality, similar type of player, controlling the midfield and letting the other players play. Now suddenly one goes to Wits, the other one is injured, and that spine is gone. And that's where Cape Town City, I think, started to have problems. And then for Benni, he's now got to try and get everything sorted out. And in between, Phillies gets injured, so he's also out. So now you've lost both centre-backs, plus your anchor midfield player. It's not an easy job to do. He had to play his left back at centre-back. He had to play his right back at centre-back. And he never knew if that was going to work or not. So the results were not good? No, they were not. Was he under pressure? Yes, he was. Did he ask for replacements? Yes, he did. Did he get the replacements? No, he didn't.
And then
Why not? I don't know.
And then he signed Mubara. Mubara then gets injured in a PSL game, ankle in a moon boot, so he's also out. If you look at the situation right now with Cape Town City and Benni McCarthy, the question is, can he bounce back?
I have no doubt. You know, he's got the personality. As I've said before, he's going to go home with the tail between his legs. He's going to be hurting. This is very painful. It's a very painful experience to get fired as the coach of any football team.
Because as we were talking also, and you were saying that it's amazing how Benni McCarthy, UEFA Champions League winner, top goal scorer for Bafana Bafana, did really well at Porto, did well in the EPL in his first season, but how this will affect him mentally.
Yeah, it's a very difficult thing to do. You know, your ego gets shattered. And I mean, we all know Benni, we know his personality, you know his appetite for the game, you know he wants to win, he's a successful football personality, right? But now, all of a sudden, as big as it is when his child is born, as big as this is when he gets fired by Cape Town City, that's how powerful it is. That's why I'm saying he needs to go home to his family, because that's going to heal him. And I have no doubt that with his ability and his experience, he will bounce back. He will learn a lot from this, and he will move forward and still be successful.
And that is Sergio Dos Santos joining us right here on Marawa TV, giving his input on the entire situation between Benni McCarthy being fired with immediate effect as Cape Town City head coach. From Cape Town, it's back to you, Robert.
Thank you so much. One of the first inserts that we did on Marawa TV had to do with Benni McCarthy, and then he was asking for his wish list. Makola was one of the players that he was crying for. He got that. And the other player that he was crying for was Robin Johannes. He didn't get him. He went to Stellenbosch. In the end, were you surprised, though, given how being in a cup final, winning a cup in a team that is literally born yesterday?
Yeah, look, when Benni was his service were acquired, I never had a doubt. Actually, before that, I thought he was going to come to Orlando Pirates. But
were you wishing he comes?
Yeah, I was wishing, yeah. Then he decided to go to Cape Town, you know. Home is home, you know. Then he went Cape Town, and he did well.
Yeah.
We all know, and we had a belief that Benny was going to do well because he walked this road, you know, through thick and thin.
Right.
You know, and like Dos Santos, what he just said now, if you players, they go away and you don't replace them, then you put more pressure on the coach. Because now we have to shovel and reshovel, take left back to center back and blah, blah, blah. And when results are not coming, then you sack him. But that's the culture of South African football.
Jan Older Rickering. Have you ever heard of that name before?
No, that sounds Japanese.
Japan is where the players were playing rugby.
Yeah.
Jan Older Rickering. Never heard of him.
No, never heard.
Coached Ajax Amsterdam. I think he coached Galatasaray as well. So he's the new man in charge at Cape Town City. He's the man that's taken over from Benny. So you'll know him. He's only, 56 years old.
Yeah, well, good luck to him, Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope he's going to do better, or maybe he's going to bring the results to the team.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, but if there's no replacement, yeah, let's see his magic.
Okay. You're looking for magic. We're going to have a quick look at the log position, because now we're going to talk quickly the Soweto derby. That's what everybody's been talking about here. All right, so Kaizer Chiefs are top in that table. I think Bidvest Wits last played football during the Easter holiday. They haven't played for the longest time, but they're still there. 15 points, 6 games played. They need to play, catch up a little bit. But they've done well. We've got to give Gavin Hunt credit as far as the CAF Confederations Cup is concerned. It's been a better run for them, and that is why they find themselves lagging behind. But Kaizer Chiefs, 25 points. Sundowns were unable to get maximum points there last night.
Yeah, they struggled yesterday.
And your former team?
Yeah, my former team is limping.
Is that how you describe it, limping?
Yeah, it's limping. But I haven't panicked yet. No panic button.
When will you panic?
Maybe second round.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'll start panicking. Because if you look at, if Gavin can still stay position 6, position 4 or 3.
Yeah.
And while he hasn't played for 4 weeks, and nobody's catch-upping, and all the teams behind him, they've been playing.
Yeah, well, that's what they call making the points up nice and early. But Chipper looked to be in trouble. Got rid of Clinton Lawson. Norman Mapez has come in. They've played well. I saw Chipper playing well over the weekend. Like I said, there were errors that shouldn't have been. There were goals that should have happened and could have happened, but they weren't. What do you think is going to happen to Chipper?
Yeah, but Chipper, we all know from Dendens, Malisela, Lassen, they've been playing...
Papich, everybody.
Papich, they've been playing good football. Every time you look at the stats, a ball position, Chipper 64, 65. You look at the scoreline, Chipper lost 3-0, 3-1. You understand?
So what needs to happen there? I mean, do you want to apply for a job and go and coach Chipper? Do you think you've got the answer to Chipper?
Yeah, I can apply, but the only thing is that before I sign on the dotted line, we have to agree on certain terms.
Like what?
You leave me to coach the team. No interference, because I can pick up, there's a lot of interference there.
Yeah.
And I know he's result-driven. He just wants to see things blooming. Overnight, So we'll agree on those few terms, that, or probably maybe I need this couple of players. Get me these players so that I can able to achieve this. If not...
Quickly, Magents. A lot of people on Twitter saying, I've got to nail you for a prediction. Is it Kaizer Chiefs again to win on Saturday?
No.
Not?
Different ball game. 1-0 to Orlando Pirates.
Here, man.
Yeah.
Own goal or who's going to score?
No, Shonga.
Shonga's going to score?
Yeah, Shonga's going to score.
Wow. He's confident, this guy. I don't know, there's something about his confidence today that I can't just touch, but I don't want to argue with him. Remember, he's the legend, yeah? He's Magents Motale. All right, switching on to, talk about Kaizer Chiefs. He was a staunch Arsenal and a very staunch Kaizer Chiefs fan. And he sadly passed away last week, Friday. Just a couple of hours after we had finished on this show, a show that he was a big supporter of, Olani Kwala, Mpepetwa, 44 years old, covered everything journalistically that you could ever dream of a person of his age, and gathering and garnering all the support and love from a South African country that loved him so much. And as we prepare to say our final goodbyes to him on Saturday, Mpentle, we say hamba ngokuthula noxolo Mpepetwa. Rest in peace.